yoga friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and this is the 31-day yoga challenge where we do 20 minutes of yoga a day for 31 days. Today is day 27, and today is all about focus. So this flow will improve your concentration and ability to focus throughout the rest of your day. We won't be needing any props for this practice, and as always, there is a free playlist linked down below in case you'd like to listen to some tunes while you practice. So without further ado, let's get started here on our backs in a Savasana. So bringing legs just straight out in front of us, arms down by the sides, or maybe hands resting on the belly and our heart. And go ahead and flutter the eyes closed, or take a soft gaze. And begin to find an even breath in and out through the nostrils, deep into the belly, coming into the present moment. We'll begin our practice by setting an intention. Anything that comes to mind is wonderful. And if nothing comes to mind, you can always use this one. I am clear and focused on my goals. I am clear and focused on my goals. And whatever intention you chose for yourself today, begin to inhale that beautiful energy from that intention in through the nose, deep into the belly. And open the mouth. Sigh. Exhale out anything extra you may have brought onto your mat today. Taking that one more time, inhaling through the nose, deep into the belly. And open the mouth. Sigh. Exhale out anything extra. Coming back to your even breath now, knowing you can always return to your intention throughout practice and perhaps throughout the rest of your day today. Taking one more round of breath here. And then on your next inhale, we're gently going to bend that right knee, placing the right sole of the foot on the inside of the left leg for supine tree pose. And instead of keeping the eyes closed here, we're going to find a focused gaze by fluttering the eyes open and finding a point on the ceiling or in the sky that you can focus on. We call this in yoga a drishti. So you're looking at one point, but it's almost like you're looking past it or through it. It's a very soft and focused gaze. This is particularly helpful when we're in our balancing postures. So when we do get to those postures later in practice, I will be reminding you to find your drishti. But right now, let's just practice this focused gaze towards the sky. We'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, straighten through that right leg. As we inhale, bend through the left leg, placing the left sole of the foot onto the inside of the right leg, coming into supine tree on the opposite side. Staying with that focused gaze you found, continuing your even breath. And we'll stay here for about a minute. on your next exhale, straighten through that left leg. And we're going to reach both arms overhead, taking a nice good morning stretch. And then releasing that good morning stretch, bringing the arms back by the sides. Let's just windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then next inhale, let's bring both of the knees into the chest. We'll be finding some hip circles as slowly or as quickly as your body feels like in this moment. And let's reverse those circles. And then bringing the knees back into the chest, crossing the ankles, grabbing behind the thighs. Option to roll to one side and sit up, or roll up and down the spine 3 or 4 times, massaging that spine. And then coming through a seated position all the way into a tabletop. Making sure knees are directly under hips, wrists directly under shoulders. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, look up to the sky for cow pose. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the spine for cat. Finding this 2 more times, beginning to connect body to breath here. And on your next inhale, coming back to that tabletop. Let's flex through both feet, walking the palms slightly forward and press the hips up and back, finding a downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling through the feet or generously bending the knees, making sure the feet are hip width distance or wider. Shoulders down and relaxed, neck nice and released, eyes of the elbows pointed towards the front of the mat, and all 10 fingers spread wide. We'll stay here finding some organic movement or breathing in stillness for 3 more rounds of breath. And next inhale, let's rise up to the balls of the feet. Step, hop, or float forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up the spine 1 vertebrae at a time all the way to Tadasana, mountain pose. Bringing hands to heart center here, we're going to find that drishti as we stand in that Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking that focused gaze for 3 rounds of breath here. And on your next inhale, let's inhale those arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant the palms, step, hop, or float back. Flow as you so choose, and I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Let's take 5 rounds of breath here. And on your next inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet. Step, hop, or float forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky, arms overhead. And exhale, sit down into Utkatasana, chair pose, feet together or hip width distance. Making sure shoulders are directly over knees and you can see all 10 toes. Keeping arms overhead for 2 more rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to straighten through both knees, shifting the weight onto the right leg, picking up that left leg into one leg Tadasana, flexing through that left foot. Inhaling here, and then exhaling that left foot to the back of the mat for high crescent lunge. Exhale, open to warrior two. Flipping that right palm towards the sky, reaching towards the front of the mat. Exhale, reverse your warrior. One round of breath. Inhale back to warrior two. And exhale, right forearm to right thigh, left arm overhead, extended side angle, one round of breath. Inhale back to warrior two. And we're going to stay here for 2 rounds of breath in this warrior two with that focused gaze over those right fingertips. And on your next inhale, let's pivot all 10 toes to the front of the mat. And step that left foot to the front of the mat for Tadasana, mountain pose. Shifting the weight onto the right leg once more. Let's kickstand that left foot, an option to move into tree pose by moving that left sole of the foot onto the inside of the right thigh or calf. Avoiding the knee area here, bringing hands to heart center, maybe overhead. Finding your drishti once more. We'll stay in tree for 5 rounds of breath here. And on your next exhale, gently lowering that left foot to the mat, finding Tadasana, mountain pose once more. And inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant the palms, step hopper, float back, flow as you so choose, and I'll meet you in downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 5 rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, rise up to the balls of the feet. Step hopper, float forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shoulders down and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky, arms overhead, and exhale, sit down into Utkatasana, chair pose. Arms overhead here, making sure abdominals are nice and activated so you're not dumping into your lower back. We'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Next inhale, let's straighten through both legs, shifting the weight onto the left leg this time and picking up that right leg for one leg Tadasana. Inhaling here and exhale that right foot to the back of the mat for high crescent. Exhale, open to warrior two. Flipping that left palm towards the sky, reach towards the front of the mat. Exhale, reverse your warrior, 1 round of breath. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh, right arm overhead, extended side angle, 1 round of breath. Inhale back to warrior two, staying here for 2 rounds of breath, gazing over those left fingertips. And on your next inhale, pivoting all 10 toes to the front of the mat, and then stepping that right foot into Tadasana, mountain pose here. We're going to kickstand that right foot, shifting the weight onto the left leg, and then option to move into tree pose by bringing that right sole of the foot on the inside of the left thigh or calf, avoiding that knee area. Maybe you bring your hands to heart center or overhead, finding that focused gaze or drishti. We'll stay here for 5 rounds of breath. exhale, lowering that right foot down onto the mat for Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant the palms and step back into high plank. And exhale, lower all the way down onto the mat. Beautiful work. From here, we're going to inhale, press back, finding our way into a seated position. Bringing both legs out in front of us, knees bent, soles of the feet on the earth. We're going to find boat pose here. So grabbing behind the thighs, we're going to exhale, lower the torso just enough so our abdominals are engaged. Option to stay here. Or maybe you let go, extending your arms towards the front of the mat. Maybe you stay here. Or you lift those legs off the mat, flexing the feet, keeping the knees bent. You can stay here, or maybe straightening through the legs, pointing the toes for boat pose. Wherever you are, we'll stay here for 4 more rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, go ahead and exhale everything down onto the mat, laying back on your back. Next inhale, we're going to bend both knees, placing the soles of the feet onto the earth. And inhaling that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, cross that right leg over the left as if you're sitting in a chair, bringing arms out to a T. And then exhaling those legs over to the left for a supine twist. Making sure that right shoulder remains in contact with the earth. Option to gaze over the right fingertips. And we'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. Next, inhale, bringing those legs back up through center. Let's uncross that right leg. As we inhale that left leg up in the air, and exhale, cross the left leg over the right, as if we're sitting in a chair. And then next, exhale, lower those legs over to the right for a supine twist. Making sure that left shoulder remains in contact with the earth, and option to gaze over the left fingertips. About 2 more rounds of breath here. And next, inhale, bring those legs back up to center. And let's uncross that left leg, bringing both of the soles of the feet on the ground. Inhaling both knees into the chest. An option to grab the outer edges of the feet, moving into happy baby. Knees towards the armpits, maybe finding some rocking motion from side to side or straightening one leg and then the other. Finding about 5 more rounds of breath here. And then on your next few rounds of breath, finding your way into your Savasana for the day. Maybe taking a traditional Savasana by extending both legs out in front of you. Bringing arms by the sides, or maybe hands resting on the belly and or heart. Adjusting any clothing or hair that might be distracting. Closing the eyes if they're not there already. And scanning the body for any tension we can exhale, allowing yourself to stop being a human doing and just be a human being. I will let you know when it's time to come out of your Savasana, but for now, simply rest. And you are welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. But if you'd like to close out class with me, begin to bring awareness back to your breath, introducing some movement into the body, maybe by wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling through the wrists and ankles, maybe windshield wipering the knees or feet from side to side here, finding any organic movement to wake the body back up. And then rolling on to one side to find a fetal position, using your bottom arm as a pillow, bending the knees, and taking one full round of breath here. And on your next inhale, gently pressing your way into a Sukhasana, easy pose, maybe keeping your eyes closed or in a soft gaze, bringing hands to heart center. I want to thank you for coming to class with me today and sharing your energy, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. We'll close our practice with the sound of Om. Inhaling through the nose deep into the belly. Om. And bringing thumbs to third eye. May the light and love in me recognize and honor the light and love in you. Namaste.